I have been on 10 international mission trips, and I think I may have found a solution that makes packing just a little bit easier and a little less stressful. Hi, my name is Amanda. I'm a short-term missionary and a mom, and full transparency, I am not the best packer. I'm really good at gathering the things for the trip, and then I pass it to my husband and I say, make it fit. Because as much as I wish that I was a Tetris kid that was really good at playing that game, I am not a good Tetris player. But my husband and I have worked on this system for literally the last 6 or 7 years as we've been going on these international mission trips to find a way to pack a little bit more cohesively. And I'm only gonna share one of the tips that I use today, and it's not gonna be super crazy or mind-blowing, but it is something that it took us a couple of trips to figure out how we can make this work for us a little bit better. Let me show you some of the things that I use and why I use them. Specifically, let's start with our good friend, a reusable toiletry bag. Literally, you can get this at the dollar store at this point, but I got this one from Walmart literally years ago, and not sponsored or anything, but I have gotten this, and it's a quart-size bag. You can also use regular quart-size bags if that's all you have, but it's a clear liquid case because it has to be clear for TSA, and we use this to put our liquids and toiletries in. Another thing that this is actually a more little recent addition because I always found it hard to find a way to put my undergarments and my socks and things like that in a space where they didn't take up too much room, but they're also easy to access when needed. I have recently invested in some packing cubes. This is just the smallest one that I have. This one, it's a compression packing cube, which is obviously way better, so it gets nice and big, and then you just zip it up and you can put stuff in it. And I love it because I can put all of my undergarments, my socks, and any other small fabric-y item I might have with me. A lot of people swear by packing cubes. I don't use them other than this small one, but we do have a full set of them. And in the future, I might try them, but right now, this is what we have. I think that this works great because it compresses all my undergarments, socks, and things like that. Really, really small, my headbands, my hair ties, all that stuff. And it's great. This is also a recent addition. I have recently been introduced to the belt bag life. The bags that you kind of look like fanny packs, but they're slightly different, and you just kind of wear them across your chest like this. I didn't know how I felt about it. I have a different bag that I've been using for years to hold my passport and IDs and when I travel, and I wanted something that I didn't have to carry. So I looked on Amazon and I found this. What I love about this bag specifically is that it has a clip. It gets pretty small, it gets pretty big, so I can put it around my waist like a fanny pack if I need to. But I also really love that they have a little secret compartment in the back, and that's where my passport is when I'm traveling. And I think that I can also put cards or anything back there, which I think is great. And the bag itself is actually kind of large. It's kind of gross in here right now because I have all my stuff in it, but I literally can just carry so much stuff in here. It has a couple mesh pockets on the inside. Do you need a belt bag? No, but it is, in my opinion, having a smaller bag that's about this size, even if it doesn't have a strap on it, having something that can hold something like your passport, your hand sanitizer, your headphones, because when I travel, I put my little earbuds in here, different things like that. I think it's important to have a bag like that because you can easily get it in and out of whatever backpack you're with, and you can just use it. I think that a bag inside of a bag is a great choice. So if you're not into that, that's okay, but I think that this is a great choice, and what I loved about it is that I could literally put it on when I'm walking to the airport, throw it into my bag right before we got on the plane, and we were good. Another bag that I use literally every single trip I go on is some form of vacuum seal bag. So literally, you just open the bag, you put your stuff into the fill line. Usually there's a little fill line at the top of it, and then you seal it up. They usually have these little things on them, and you just go across it to make sure it's nice and sealed. You do that, and then you vacuum it down. They make bags now that come with their own little hand pump, and I love those more than maybe these specific ones. This is just one of the ones that we have. We have a bunch of different brands, so there's no brand I specifically like say you should just get what's gonna work for you. We love the ones that you can use the little pump with, so you don't have to have a vacuum or any type of tool like that. While you're on the mission field, you can just pump it to bring stuff home. Other things that I think bag-wise that you should have is you should absolutely have a bag where you put your electronics and a bag that you put your snacks. Usually I will use a Ziploc bag and I'll literally just throw in a few snacks into it. You can also use gallon-sized bags if you have a lot of snacks to bring, but I usually will put this with me because it's easier and it has snacks, drink mixes, whatever. Same thing for electronics. This is a quart-sized bag that I think I've had this bag for literal years, and it literally just holds like cables and cords, so it'll have anything I might need, my phone charger, my camera charger, my earbuds, whatever. I'll put them in here to keep it all together. That system of putting something in a bag and then putting that bag in another bag.
I'll put that flea in a box, and then I'll put that box inside of another box, and then I'll nail that box to myself.
Is going to make it so much easier when you're packing, because you don't have to sit there, sift through every single individual item. As you're packing, you'll be like, okay, I have put all my snacks in one bag. And so when you're packing and you look through your packing list and they say, hey, where are your snacks? You can literally pull out the bag and say like, here they are, here are all my snacks. And you're good. And that's great. We love that. The same thing with your electronics and even, whoa, making a mess. Even with your undergarments and stuff like that, you can literally just pull it out and say, here it is, here's everything. That's the same thing that works so good with everything. I think that that is the thing that has made packing way less scary over the years, is that I can literally just pull out a bag and say, here it is, here's the thing that I need. How is that card full too? What is with you guys? I'm literally at the end of my video and all of my cards keep saying that they're full. Tell me that you've been on a mission trip recently and you haven't backed up all of your footage without telling me you've been on a mission trip recently without backing up all of your footage. That will be happening right after this video is done. Like I was saying before I was rudely cut off by my camera, it is vitally important, at least for me and my own sanity, and I hope it'll work for you, is to put bags into bags. Even if it's just 1 or 2 items in a small little snack bag, at least you know where it is so you can easily get to it and you don't have to sift through all of your stuff to find the one thing you need. The last thing you wanna do is be looking for underwear or a toothbrush when you are tired and ready to take a shower. So I hope that helps. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. I know it's a little bit different and not directly related to ways to do mission work, but honestly, if you don't have to stress about packing for a trip, then you are absolutely going to have a better time on your trip, and then you will absolutely be able to just fully dive into your trip when you're there. And I think that that is some ways to make your trip a little bit better. So if you have any cool little packing tips or hacks or hints or whatever, leave those down in the conversations in our comments below. I'd love to hear about different things that you've done or different ways that you pack that make it a lot easier to pack for your trip, so you can just focus on the trip and not focus on whether or not you brought everything you need. Anyways, I will see you guys next time. Bye.